Welcome to Gluten Free YYC. My name is Maggie Mackenzie, and I live in Calgary, Alberta, aka YYC. I've been diagnosed with celiac disease for about 10 years now, and that means that I can't safely eat gluten.
Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease, and it causes a permanent disability to digest gluten. And gluten is found in wheat, in barley, in rye, and in triticale. And it's a protein. When you are diagnosed with celiac disease, that means that you cannot digest that protein that is found in gluten.
Eating gluten-free comes with plenty of challenges, but eating out is one of the biggest. That's why I'm excited to be showing you some of Calgary's fully gluten-free restaurants and bakeries. Expat Asia is an Asian fusion restaurant in Calgary's southeast. First, we'll be chatting with the co-owners, Jeff and Joel.
My name is Jeff Matthews, and the restaurant we have is Expat Asia.
My name is Joel Matthews, and restaurant again is Expat Asia. So we opened December 15th, 2018. We were a little bit delayed. We were supposed to open up in October of that year, but got pushed back a couple months. And so we're coming up on our 4th year birthday in the next 2 weeks here. So, yeah.
It's been a long, the journey's been 30 years. It's not been 4 years. Learning how to live in Asia, how to cook Asian food with the right flavors. It's been a long journey to get to where we are now. We just kind of honed it in the last 4 years to make it that it works, but it's been a long time coming.
Here at Expat Asia, we are 100% gluten-free. Asian fusion restaurant. Our flavors kind of come from Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Chinese, the Korean. All those flavors mesh so well together. When we first started out, we were a pretty much Indonesian curry restaurant. So we would come up in a rice and curry on the plate and kind of a serve and go. COVID hit and we had to change everything up. So all of our curries that we had in our steam table, those went into our frozen line, which we would have never done before COVID. But when COVID hit, we added a whole frozen line. Our retail selection became huge. Our catering became a lot bigger as well. And then all the food that we produce is all produced for you freshly. So
every day, every time, every order is done fresh.
Yeah, so we had
to
change up quite a bit of it, for sure. So when we first opened up Expat Asia, our plan was never to be a 100% gluten-free spot. We always wanted to have our gluten-free options, but it was never a celiac safe everything 100%. So I guess we'd be more gluten-friendly. We would have been, but naturally, all of our products were gluten-free. We had 2 sauces, which were dipping sauces, nothing that actually went into our products that weren't. And someone from the Celiac Society came by and were like, guys, switch out your 2 sauces and become a 100% gluten-free spot, and trust me, you guys will flourish. So we did, and we are so happy we did that, and haven't looked back since.
I also had an opportunity to chat with Emily from the Calgary Celiac Association to learn about how they support people with celiac disease.
We have lots of information on our website. So we have handouts if you're feeling stressed out about grocery shopping. There's a grocery shopping handout. Say you are a senior and you want to communicate with your care home about your needs. We have a brochure for that. So we have a lot of information resources, and then we also provide education through our Celiac 101 course. And in the past, we've had other education events as well. And at different times, we have also provided information to, say, dental hygienists, or we had a partnership with the Diabetes Association, because many people with diabetes also develop celiac disease. There's a connection. So we try and raise awareness that way as well. So.
With the Celiac Society and celiac people who are making us more aware of how important it is, has been a game changer for us to learn this. Again, I didn't give it much credence because nobody did. And every day, I think every year, people are getting more and more aware of how important it is. And that's only going to keep going in that direction to take off. So we're very happy to be at the forefront of it and doing the job well for the people who are needing it more.
A big misconception is just that it's very easy to go gluten-free nowadays because there are more products and that sort of thing. I think that is the hardest thing to deal with. And I guess the other misconception is just that a little bit is okay. Because so often, you know, I've you know, been asking my questions to a restaurant, at a restaurant, and they're like, oh, there's only like a little bit of flour in that. Well, a little bit is not okay.
Yeah.
Like, so I think for me that's the biggest misconception, is that a little bit is okay, and like, why are you worrying about it? So it makes you feel like you're not justified in asking the questions that you're asking, and you're not justified in expecting to receive a meal that is safe for you to eat. So I think that's kind of the hardest part.
It was good. Actually, we came out of COVID ahead of ourselves. You know, it just made us think better of what we have to do to survive through it. And our business went this way instead of going that way. And it was just a matter of doing those deliveries, the caterings that we did, in-home deliveries to people. We put the food on the doorstep and walked away and said hello from there. It was a crazy time, but we did that to get through it, and we came out on top.
In Italy, there's like a really, really high rates of celiac disease and really great celiac safe options, because I mean, obviously, if you're Italian eating pasta, you probably are going to learn pretty quickly if you have celiac disease.
That's true.
So that's just a weird random fact for you.
Cool.
Yeah, I think with my traveling, I have discovered so many places that I wouldn't have gone to because I do tons of research before I go. So I know like all the restaurants I can eat at, and I have this like list on my app. So wherever I am in the city, I can look at my app and see where restaurants are that are close by. And we go to like weird parts of cities that are not touristy at all.
Right.
But we just go and like, you know, I had like, when we were in Rome, we had cannolis in this like part of Rome where there's like no tourists, but I found it in a guidebook, and so we're like, oh, well, today our activity is to like go to this place in Rome and have cannolis that are gluten-free, and so we like also discovered a whole bunch of places that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Can you tell us about your favorite dishes?
I think for me on our menu, my favorite dish is by far the all-day breakfast. You can have it on tater tots or on rice. Of course, I always choose rice. We take our pork belly, it's nice and crispy and crunchy. We mix it with a sweet soy sauce that we make ourselves, gluten-free, of course, and our spicy sambal, which is a tomato-based or chili-based sauce. So it's got a good spice to it. 2 fried eggs on top with our Korean aioli, which is made with gochujang, ginger, garlic, and green onions. And it's an infused aioli that we do, and that's on top, and it's just a wonderful dish. Yeah.
My favorite dish would have to be the badass dragon noodles. For one, the name is on key.
Yeah, we got a raunchy name.
Second, it's just a black garlic, truffle oil, Parmesan cheese, heavy chili carbonara, which is different to your typical carbonara, so Asianized a little bit, rich as hell, and it's great. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
After chatting with Jeff and Joel, I was dying to taste the food, but I didn't want to do it alone. So I invited Kaylee to come to try the food and chat about her experience with celiac disease.
I have had celiac disease I should have counted before I came.
Oh, no worries.
I was diagnosed in 2011.
Okay.
So
Straight
like,
20s, so like 11 years?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, 11 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been diagnosed for 10, so you got me beat.
But barely. Was an interesting kind of diagnosis process for me because I have kind of unusual symptoms where I get a lot of like neurological symptoms more than gut issue symptoms. But I have a great family doctor who got me tested when I started presenting with gut issues after I think I'd had it for like 2 years before that and just never really followed through. Celiac is a disease that is an autoimmune disease that gets triggered by a change in your genetic biome. So I believe when I had knee surgery, that triggered my celiac disease. So I was totally fine for like the first 12, 13 years of my life. And then it was hard to tell with my neurological symptoms what was like teen angst and what was actually, something's wrong.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of what I get when I do get gluten, and especially now that I've been eating gluten-free for 10 years, I am a lot more sensitive.
Oh.
So I get very, like, it's like really bad PMS where I just start crying for no reason. And my partner's like, hey, did you eat something? And I'm like, no, these are my real feelings. Well, maybe they're not actually. I also get like twitchy and like my hands are like shaky.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are all my symptoms.
Oh,
and I
fun.
get the classic, you know, tummy troubles as well,
Yeah.
but not as much as I get the other stuff.
Yeah, it's wild how like the symptoms range so much, and like
Yeah.
people think that like celiac disease is only serious if you're like in bed throwing up, but like there are
Yeah.
tons of other symptoms and they're all valid.
Yeah. Dating is really hard when you have celiac disease because most dates revolve around food in some aspect, and then you immediately have to disclose this like big thing about yourself, and it's not like embarrassing, but it can be like, I don't really want to explain this when I'm just getting to know you, and I don't want you to think that this is like the only thing about me. There's lots of other things you should know.
Oh, do you have a name for when you eat gluten?
Yeah, I call it getting glutened. Done got the glutes.
The glutes. I hadn't heard that one before. That's a new one to me.
Yeah, I just made that up. Feels like a giant trust exercise. I am comfortable in certain places, and I like have found places that are like my go-tos that I feel safe at. And then it's really just like forming a connection with the servers or the people taking my order and making sure that I can communicate clearly with what I need. But yeah, it's always a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and sometimes you're like, I feel like we're on the same page, and then the food comes out, and you're like, no, we're not.
What is that?
Yeah.
You never said anything about that. Was that deep fried?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, they're like, yeah, we can make that gluten free, and then they bring it out with a piece of toast on it.
You're like, cool, thank you.
Never mind.
Yeah, I will often call ahead if I'm going to a new place and just make sure that they can do it so that I don't end up there and unable to eat.
Yeah, that's really smart.
And like every self-respecting celiac, I have granola bars out the wazoo in my car. They're hidden in every different corner.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I think traveling is like the most difficult thing because then I'm in a city where I don't know places. So I use the Find Me Gluten Free app all the time.
Yeah.
It's such a lifesaver.
Is there anything else you would like people to know about celiac disease, or something you'd like to say to the community?
I guess it's like more common than you think, and there's a lot of different symptoms. So if you're going to get a blood test anyway, just ask your doctor to add it on because you never know. And it's really not that hard once you're diagnosed. There's lots of ways that you can accommodate yourself, and you feel so much better. So if you are thinking, oh, maybe I don't feel good when I have bread, just go get it checked out.